goes down, right?
And a
There's
very
V.
long train. If you look, there is a train. One of the bridesmaids is carrying something that looks like a train.
And there's her father.
Michael Middleton, cool as anything, a very, very charming, very, very supportive man who's going to be, no doubt, incredibly proud of his daughter. I'm just looking, there's a lot of fabric there, quite low cut, lots of lace, slightly plunging on the neckline, but not too plunging, and of course arms must be covered, but she's opted for lace, very elegant, and that beautiful, beautiful veil.
And I love the bouquet and the fact that in it is traditionally placed a sprig of myrtle.
That's right.
And it is from the original myrtle Queen Victoria planted after her bouquet.
Absolutely right. You'll see Michael's just struggling there with the train. He's going to have to drape that over his lap. Make sure it doesn't get too crumpled.
And Diane, we were saying 7 to 9 minutes. These are the final minutes that Michael Middleton as a father will travel now to the Abbey with his daughter. And so much has been said here in Britain about her being Kate the Commoner, but he is going to witness his daughter in just moments be transformed from his beautiful little girl to the wife of a prince.
The train is finally in. You've just noticed how much time it's taken for Michael to put all of that train in there, and the door will be shut momentarily, and they've begun their procession. This is the final drive.
Do we know yet who designed this dress?
No, it won't be. It will not be announced until she steps foot in that abbey. Of course, Prince William cannot see any of this. He's now in the separate chapel where there are no screens. It was Kate's wish. She's waving there, but it was Kate's wish that William wouldn't see the dress until he turned round to see his bride on the red carpet.
By the way, that is Kate's female bodyguard in the front seat. And if any of you remember the pictures of Princess Grace,
there's the tiara, Barbara, as well. Lots of debate over the tiara, and we can see it looks like the George III
so the
tiara.
Queen probably gave her the tiara, but it looks very much like the dress that Princess Grace wore all those years ago.
And there was so much made here in Britain about her hair, whether or not she would wear it up or down. There were photographs in the last 24 to 48 hours of her with her hair up. It was sort of a tease. People thought, is that what she'll do? But she looks very much like the Kate Middleton this country knows well.
She wanted to do her own makeup this morning. She wanted to look like herself. The hair is her trademark, and it's down.
I want to watch for a moment because I keep thinking what she is seeing along this road, and as we have said before, she is hearing the whispered echoes of so many who have traveled this route before, passing by monuments that arc back over hundreds and hundreds of years. We look at her face, we look at her wave, we imagine what she is thinking. And Robin and Tina, I know you're watching too.
Yes, we are, Diane. We are watching intently like everyone else. And the last to arrive to a royal wedding, the bride in a car, was Princess Alexandra in 1963, the Queen's first cousin. Normally arrived by carriage. And when they were talking earlier, Tina, about her hair, I remember that Bianca was telling me, Bianca Godriga, earlier in the week, that she wanted her husband to recognize her. You know how some brides get all wild with the hair? Yeah. She wanted him to be able to recognize her.
Well, that's so much their relationship, that it is a real friendship, and it's not based on fairy tale fantasy. She wanted to look beautiful, but she also wanted to be the woman that she knows that he loves. And I think, whereas Diana wanted to be a fairy bride.
And they have been able to really strike that balance. But as you can see these pictures, and it's we're so happy because we've been hearing about how calm they all were, everyone involved in the wedding prior to it, and it seems that same way this morning, Tina.
Yes, you can see that.
And they are passing us right now.
That although
she's waving to the crowds through the window, and we've taken note of the veil, so reminiscent of Princess Diana, who had the veil as she traveled in the carriage. This is different. Kate Middleton said she wanted to travel by car, and this is the Queen's 1950s Rolls Royce. It's the oldest car in the collection, but the car is not the star, clearly, with this crowd. They are welcoming Kate Middleton.
This is something that she chose. Prince William didn't have that option. She did.
She chose it, and he told him he really has had to bring her into it. He has really so lovingly brought her into the process of being both his wife and a princess, which I think has been incredibly caring of him, because he wants it to go right for her as well as for everybody else.
We do remember the interview right after the announcement of the engagement, and said he wanted to take his time. A lot of people, the nicknames that she had, Waity Katie,
Yeah.
Katie Waity. And he said, no, there was a purpose for this, and this was this moment. And you really, when you look at her right now, Tina, you really feel that she is mature enough to handle this moment.
It's almost as if he knew from the beginning she was the woman he wanted, but he had to then really be sure that she could handle it after what happened to his mother. He saw his mother wrecked by it, and he did not want that for her. I think it's wonderful the way he's achieved it, actually. He's done it with enormous aplomb, and this time everything has been done right for her. She seems really ready.
It's about her last 9 minutes here in the car. And I have to say, Diane, the sun has come out all of a sudden here outside the Abbey. Diane?
She is arriving. And for those of you who are just joining us, the royal wedding is on time. Her prince is waiting. Let's just stop for a moment, watch, and listen.
It'll take nearly 4 minutes this walk.
Kate Middleton approaching that long walk, 300 feet, 3 to 4 minutes, and she's been told to pause before she does it. Watch for her pause.
And we finally know what the big suspense was and who made her dress. It's done by a woman named Sarah Burton, who was the creative director of Alexander McQueen. You may remember that Alexander McQueen made the red and black dress for Michelle Obama for the state dinner at the White House. Very sadly, he committed suicide a year ago. A very well-known designer. He's going to be honored this coming Monday at the Metropolitan Museum. And doesn't she look gorgeous?
The Very Reverend Dr. John Hall, Dean of Westminster, greeting her.